All right, what is going on, guys? CZFX back at another video. This video is going to be a breakdown on the $1,200 day I had during London session last night. And I just want to specifically break down this video because I ended up taking it to pass the two 200K accounts, but I did also take it on my personal account and made roughly $1,200 on it. So I just want to break down the trade so you guys can see exactly how I did it, how I went about it, and how you can as well. I'm being more detailed about exactly what I was seeing to take the trade on this video than I was the previous video. As you can see here, it was a 1% loss. I can't remember when how I lost this one. I think it was probably a scaled in trade that made me lose that. I can't really remember. It was like 1 a.m. But I did end up making roughly 1,200 even still in the day. Closed out the trade for like $1,700 profit, but you know, with that 1% loss, you know, went down to $1,200 profit on the day. But I'm going to be breaking down the trade. This is the before and after. So you see how price, you know what I'm saying, pretty much hit to the T to the actual like take profits. And then I had price going a little bit higher, but price just didn't end up doing that. But I wasn't holding to that part anyway. But what I'm going to be doing is making my screen bigger. And those who don't know why I have the sections as like the green and the yellow or orange, it's because I have it separated for each session. I want to back test. And when I do back test, I want to see how that specific session and time reacted to the market over and over and over again. What time price gives volatility, what price moves is, when should I get in the market? When should I wake up? I get all information by sectioning off that session and back testing it. And you can do that as well. If you guys need to find out how to do that by finding the sessions, go to indicators, search up sessions, and it's going to be this one, sessions on chart by this person, and then this is the amount of likes it has, just favorite, and then you can set it up however you like. And yeah, you can go about it that way. But this was the trade, and I don't know if you guys were looking at this as well. This is on GJ, but GJ on the daily time frame, was sitting on this 50 SMA. Now price ended up kind of pushing up and rejecting, but there is some sort of volatility there. You know, price was rejecting off this point. There was some support right here where price was sitting at. So I was looking at all that information. I was like, okay, if there's a play here. You know what I'm saying? It ended up not really pushing up all the way up here the way I was kind of looking for. I was thinking price would probably continue to go on an uptrend, but price did push up. I did capitalize on it. And you know, I trade by the session anyway, so the higher time frames really don't necessarily matter because I'm not going to hold it for like a 300 pip move in the first place. But if we go to the 3-minute time frame, 3 minute, I just got to do 3. So if we go on the 3-minute time frame, right, and I was looking at this on a 3-minute time frame, but I did base the trade off the higher time frames. But if you look at the 3-minute time frame, we were creating this divergent level where I was seeing price just really looking like price wanted to push up higher. We had price right around this level create a very exhausted oversold market, and then price ended up going lower than that. So once I seen price go lower than that, I was like, okay, there's some sort of divergence here happening. Price is looking to reverse. So what I did was just wait for price to kind of break structure. Price broke structure. Once I seen that, I still didn't get in the market yet. But what I did was I waited for price to give me an entry. Once price gave me an entry, I jumped the gun and I took the trigger on it. So what I did was, I believe I took my entry right around here. And this was the markup. I wasn't looking to get an entry at the 50 in the 61.8, but price ended up doing that. But what I did was just waited for price to kind of hit into my level, into my zone where I seen price was like a good or so entry. And I had my stop loss right here, and then I took it up, right? And price ended up hitting all the way up there to the T for 1 to 3.5 times my risk, roughly 3.6 to 3.5 times my risk. But if you know, if I would have waited and got more of a aggressive, like really tight entry, I could have made a 1 to 7. But you can't really necessarily know that price is going to push down all the way down there to 618 precisely. And for me, I'd rather not miss the move than to try to catch like the biggest risk reward per se. But if the opportunity is there for me to catch risk reward, I will try to go for it. But tonight wasn't that night. But if we go on the 5 minute, no. If we go on the 30 minute, you can see what I was seeing on the higher time frames. So when I was looking at in the higher time frames, I was seeing a break of structure. So you have this downtrend, right? You have price creating a downtrend. On top of that, the market has been oversold, just not oversold, but just been selling off. So sometimes the market needs to kind of have a cool down period where you have a consolidation after a very big push. And that's kind of what happened. This market is kind of in this consolidation range. And pretty much what price is pretty much doing is just it's like a cool down period. So price ended up breaking above structure, creating a new high. And once I seen that and price pushed back down and rejected off this level with this rejection right here, right on the 30-minute, I seen this rejection candle, the way it rejected right there. And then the next 30-minute candle printed such a bullish engulfing candle. I was okay. The market is probably looking to push up for London session. So what I did was waited for London session because you want to be patient. You don't want to rush. And I waited for London session. I got down on the 3-minute time frame. And, I looked at exactly what I was seeing. I was like, okay, there's minor time frame structure. If I do want to see an uptrend, I want to see the minor time frame downtrend break. If the minor time frame downtrend hasn't broken, then there's no buy, at least not yet. So that's what price did. Price ended up breaking above structure. Price ended up doing that right here. Price ended up pushing up, clearing above this lower high, even this high right here, this little lower high right here. Price broke above, pushed back down, created that first second trend line touch right there, broke above right there. When price did that, I was like, okay, when price pushes down just a little bit, I'm snagging this, I'm getting in. I got in the market right around here and I ended up dealing with a little bit of drawdown, but I knew that my stop loss should not get hit. If my stop loss gets hit, this is probably a dead trade. And price is probably trying to just, ended up melting and do something like that, right? But price didn't do that. Price ended up rejecting off this trend line and completely just taking off, like literally took off, dude. And I knew that price was going up, right? I knew that there's a high probability that price is going to go up. So when I seen price come back down, I did not get worried. I looked and paid attention to how the candlestick was closing. Price pushed down here and it closed with this pin bar, but the way it closed was above, right, the previous low. So if you look at it on a line chart, right, on a 3-minute time frame, look how this candle closed, right? The way these candle closed, it was above this previous low. So you have this uptrend structure. So if I remove this, you can see higher high, broke above these highs. This one broke above these highs, higher low, close above this low. That's an indication of structure trend reversal, higher high, push down. This push down is higher than this one, higher high, push down. This low is higher than this one. So there was nothing telling me to close this trade out. Now, if you're a person that is too focused on the profit and not focused on market structure, you probably would have closed out a break even and then you would have been foaming out the mouth because price ended up hitting your target to the T. But I was patient. I was confident in my markup. And at the end of the day, even if price were to stop me out, nothing changes. You know what I'm saying? I stick to my plan and I take setup space like this all the time. I take high quality setup. This is the setup I would have took any day. And I did. And yeah, man, that was a great trade that I ended up taking, ended up flying, ended up making $1,200 after. But overall on that specific trade, closed out for $1,700. But dealing with that 1% loss, I believe I tried to scale in somewhere. Somewhere in there, I tried to scale in or something, I'm sure, and I ended up just catching a loss. And I'd rather catch the loss than to try to adjust my stop loss. I do adjust my stop sometimes, but for the most part, 99% of the time, I'm not going to just adjust my stop. I'd rather get stopped out and then just re-enter or something, because a lot of times you adjust your stop and then it ends up being a dead trade, So, I don't really like to do that. So I'd rather just get stopped out. But this day it probably would have worked out to just keep my stop loss. But it's all good. Risk management is key. But yeah, man, price ended up pushing up and then it hit the supply zone. I was already out the market by that time. I believe I was still probably up, but I just wasn't really trading. And if we look at the 15-minute time frame, this is how you could have caught the sell as well. And there's the sessions I have for this. So that was around the 5 o'clock candle, right? So price ended up hitting the supply zone, right? Price ends up hitting the supply zone right in this sell zone area and completely melting from that point. So what I could have done, honestly, as soon as price hit this level, I could have got an entry, you know, saying break of this zone when price clears and creates higher low, higher low, higher low. Price broke below those zones. When price breaks below that, you know, say it pushes back up, it's creating a new trend reversal. And that's exactly what it did. You know, I was in the pullback retracement, and essentially. So there was a sell entry you could have gotten right here, and you could have literally just took it all the way down and had your stop loss right at this red line, you know, and then you could have took it all the way down for 1 to 8. But I was out the trade, you know what I'm saying, and I was sleepy, dude. I was asleep, so I went to sleep. But yeah, price ended up dropping, melting. Trade overall went for like a realistically, you probably could have caught like 1 to 9 or 1 to 10, but very, very nice trade. Very nice trade. 7 pip stop loss, 69 pip, 69 pip stop loss, 69 pip take profit. Go figure. But hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown. If you guys did, like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more content. I'm just going to keep putting out content, more and more videos. Stay tuned, guys, man. I'm trying to take over the YouTube trading industry. You know what I'm saying? To show them that we're traders out here, man. It's not just James Storm. It's not just Q Banks. It's not just Lambo FX, my FX journey. You know what I'm saying? There's still, you know, this Slizzy FX. You know what I'm saying? So stay tuned. But if you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. And this is only the beginning.